This video is about how to calculate the stretch of a bungee cord. So I'm going to give you two examples with the same diagram. In the first example, we're going to say that the cord length is 20 meters. Okay, so we've got, the first thing to notice is that usually H1 is listed on this side. So H1 is 50, so the person starts 50 meters above the ground. And then we've got H2 is 15, H3 is 12.5. So we're going to figure out what the stretch is at H2 and what the stretch is at H3. So if we start 50 meters above the ground and we fall to 15 meters above the ground, the difference here, from here to here, that's a drop of 35 meters. And to figure out what the stretch is, we know that the cord length is 20. So if they just were to dangle this cord, like if this cord just kind of dangled and nothing was attached to it, the bottom of it would be 30 meters above the ground. So we can do this one of two ways. We can say, okay, the person dropped 35 meters. The cord length is 20, which means that it had to stretch an extra 15. So I could say X2 is equal to 35 minus 20, which is 15 meters. Or the other way I could do it is I could say that anything below a height of 30 means that I would have, there would be some sort of a stretch because the bottom of the bungee cord is 30 meters off the ground. So to get down to 15, I would have to stretch it an extra 15 as well. Personally, I do it this way, where I figure out where the bottom of the cord is going to be and then figure out how much extra it has to stretch. So that same thing might be, it would be X2. I would say that it's 30 minus 15, which is also 15. So it's the same answer either way. For H3, right, or 0.3, the stretch at 3. So again, I'm going to say that the bottom of the cord is at a height of 30 meters, and it needs to stretch down to 12.5. So I'm going to say 30 minus 12.5, which is equal to 17.5 meters. Another way you could do it, you could say that at the height of 15, if you go down 2.5 more meters, you get to a height of 12.5. So you could say, hey, the stretch is 15. The stretch is, so this is X2, the stretch at 0.2, plus another 2.5 meters. So that would be 15 plus 2.5, which is also 17.5. And then the last way I could think of to do it would be to say, if we start at 50 and we go down to 12.5, we've dropped 37.5. So I could say that it's 37.5 minus the cord length of 20, which gives me also 17.5. So that's three different ways to get X3, which is the stretch at 0.3. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to do another example, same diagram, but now I'm going to say that the cord length is 30. No, I'm going to say the cord length is 40. So now the cord length is 40. No, you know what? We're not going to say that. We're going to say the cord length is, let's say 32 meters long. Okay, so my preferred method, once again, is to say, all right, if H1 is 50 meters, that if I dropped the cord and just let it dangle, I didn't mean 32. What did I mean? Let's call it 42. Nope. 37? 32 is fine. We'll just do 32. Okay, so if I drop it 32, it's going to have a height of 18 meters, the bottom of that cord, right? Because 50 minus 32 is 18. So then I'm going to say X2, if it has to go, the bottom of the cord has to stretch from 18 meters above the ground to 15 meters. So that's going to be 18 minus 15 is 3 meters. That's X2. I could also say that the drop from 50 to 15, once again, we did it in the problem up above. The drop from 30 to 15 is 35. So I could say that it's a 35-meter drop. 32 of that is the bungee cord, and the next 3 is the stretch. So either way, the last one, X3, again, there's 3 different ways to do this. If you know X2 already, you could say, well, X2 is 3 meters, and it's going to have to stretch an additional 2.5, so that's 5.5 meters. If you didn't know X2, you could say the bottom of the cord is at 18. It needs to get down to 12.5. So 18 minus 12.5, that's also 5.5 meters. And then the third way would be to say that from the top 50 down to 12.5 is a drop of 37.5 meters. 32 of that is the cord. So the last 5.5 meters of that is the stretch. Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys figure out what the stretch will be at the different points.